So just clicking on the new document button gives you these parameters. I'm going to start with the print, web and mobile devices that you have, changing the unit of measure from picas. There's 6 picas to an inch, so just so you keep getting that set up, I'm just going to see if I can click inside there and make it 2.75, 10 3/4 of an inch. So it's 8 1/4 by 10 3/4 of an inch. It's going to be horizontal. Start off with 2 pages. The margin, the columns, so the margins right now it's a 1/2 inch all the way around, so you can set all these or link them and set them independently. And down here the bleed or the slug, this is where the information goes off of the edge of the page. So since this is linked together, I'm going to highlight this and 0.125, which is 1/8 of an inch, as a decimal, and when I click over it, it'll update on all 4 sides to hit create. Okay, so what you see is you have this page with this bleed, and I have it as a horizontal. Okay, so as soon as you start the page and set those parameters, if you make a mistake, you think you have to start over, you can just simply go into File and go to Document Setup for one. So, and you can also go to Layout and Margins and Columns to grab some of those pieces. But right now, Document Setup, and you can see that the orientation is the one that I want to switch to. I can also change the numbers and everything that are listed in here and hit OK. So now when I hit Command minus, the page goes down. If I click on the Pages icon, you can see that I have these above this layout. This is just a miniature thumbnail sketch. I can set this down here and add these two. And now when I click on either one of these pages, I can double-click the hand tool in order to get it zoomed into that particular page. If I double-click this one, it'll show these two. This is what I want to take a screen capture of, so I'm going to take the section and just close this up. If I haven't cleaned the workspace up again, this is Resetting Essentials, so that's that section. And I can move the hand tool over, and this is what I want a picture of to use for my notes. So I'm just going to take a screenshot. So Command-Shift-4 turns the cursor. That'll make you a selection. If you click on the spacebar, it turns to the camera and allows me to click, and it'll make a picture of the entire page. Once I have that, it's on the desktop. I'll come back to it. But I'm going to go to the Pages icon here and do the same thing. I want to have this little window, so I'm going to do the same. Command-Shift-4, let go of the cursor, it's at the crosshair, click on the spacebar, and you'll notice it turns blue as I come over to this side. And now I have 2 screenshots that I can then place into a file for Illustrator. And that's what this piece is. Okay. Now for Illustrator, I'm just going to retrace. I'm going to show you that one. Is get a file, new document. So it's a similar process here. Here's recent save, mobile, print, film, video, art, and illustration. So under the print, it has some presets. Tabloid, when I click on it and look at the information for the preset details, under inches, it's 11 wide, 17 tall. So I'm just going to switch it so it's going 17 wide by 11, so it's an actual tabloid magazine page. I don't need any bleeds or anything like that. I'm just going to have it as an artboard and hit create. So now I have this blank page. Keep in mind the tab key is bringing all the tools, everything together. So I'm just going to hit it again so I can place these images and you can get a better view of it. So I go to place, my desktop. I have a number of screenshots, so I just scroll down quickly. At the bottom is where the last screenshot was taken, so there's the overall page and the window. So I'm just going to shift key and click both of them, hit place, and you can see it loads the icon. So I'm just going to click up at the top left corner and can see that it's relatively large, and click off to the side, and then Command minus just to make it a little bit smaller, and grab the larger one that's going to be on the base, and shift key it so it stays in proportion, and just drop it right down there. The second one, this is the window. I'm just going to keep it somewhere partially on the screen, partially off the screen, and effect, I'm just going to place a little bit of a drop shadow onto it. So when you take a look, you have these options and drop shadow will pop up, and just click the presets for the preview, and that'll give you a little bit of a drop shadow, just something to show it there. And so now you have this document that has this page that we'll come back to periodically to go over the different parts for creating some notes for yourself. Okay, so Command Tab again, try to get into the habit of using that to go between your two programs. Comes up to this, Command Tab back to Illustrator. And with this, these are just links. So I have a links panel. If I click on the tab key, it brings everything back onto the screen. And the links panel will pop up, and you'll notice, very similar to InDesign, that it has two of these images and a submenu, and also icons down at the bottom to embed these images. So you can click one or two at a time, and this icon will show to represent that it's embedded into the file. Okay. And then once you're finished, make sure you save both of them. The first one you can save is InDesign Notes from the Illustrator file. And the InDesign one, save it with your last name and Skills Magazine for that one.